devotees, they will not. They're bewildered by his activities. They're, a good example of that is when Balaram killed Romaharshana. They are described in the 10th canto in the Krishna book. So when Balaram entered the assembly of great sages at Naimisaranya, what there happened was that Balaram, he I'm not sure, was just before the battle of Kurukshetra, and Balaram didn't want anything to do with that, so he just left. Is that how it is? And then he came to Naimisaranya, where great sages were assembled to listen to Romaharsana's Sutta, who is not an ordinary person. Romaharsana is actually mentioned in the very beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the chapter where it's described how Vyasadeva, he compiled all the Vedic literatures. And there's described how different sages were entrusted for the development of the particular branches of Vedic knowledge. There are the four, what's called original Vedas: Rig, Yama, Sama, Yajur, and Atharva Veda. And each of the Vedas was entrusted to a particular rishi. I believe was it Paila Rishi was entrusted with the Rig Veda, and Jaimini was entrusted with one Veda, and like that. It's all done under the auspices of Vyasadeva. But Vyasadeva, he has a whole team or department of sages working under him, compiling and writing down all the Vedas like that. It's like a university institute actually. You have the leading professor, and then you'll have all kinds of associate professors assisting him. And that's how Vyasadeva is compiling all the Vedic literatures. So Romaharsana, he was entrusted with all the Puranas actually. He's the one who has compiled all the Puranas under instruction of Vyasadeva, or assisted Vyasadeva in compiling all the Puranas. So he's definitely not an ordinary rishi, or just an ordinary speaker of the Puranas. He's the expert on all the Puranas. And so he was there in Naimisaranya, narrating the Puranas in front of all these great sages headed by Shaunaka Rishi. And there, Balaram, he entered that assembly, and everyone got up, everyone stood up out of respect for Lord Balaram, but Romaharsana, he did not get up, because anyone who is sitting on the seat of Yas, generally, will not have to. He doesn't have to get up to show respect to anyone, because he's not that he himself is there, but it's just that position that he's occupying at that moment. That means he doesn't have to. Because Yas is he's the one who should be respected by everyone else. So the one who has representing him similarly doesn't have to get up to show respects to anyone, no matter who enters. Generally, but of course Balaram again, he's not anyone. He's actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. So even when one may think I'm not supposed to get up when I'm sitting on the seat, but when the Supreme Personality of Godhead enters, then one will have to get up. And also, we should not, we can also, from where we are, we can also get up for others when we have some exceptional person entering here in the assembly. But that was Romaharsana Sutta. he was an extremely elevated sage, and the position he was in, speaking Puranas, was that actually he was not meant to get up to show respect for anyone. But Balaram entered the assembly, and he did not get up, and there he was supposed to have done that because he is the Supreme Personality of God himself. And Ramahasana also, he was not unaware of that. You cannot have compiled all the Puranas and be unaware of the position of Lord Balaram. So when Balaram entered, Ramahasana Sutta did not get up. Balaram understood there's something wrong. His mentality is wrong. He needs to be corrected. So what did Balaram do? Well, he killed him. He took a straw of grass and touched it, and he died in front of everyone. He just killed him in front of everyone. So who can understand that? Why would God act like that? To non-devotees, they cannot enter into the mysteries of why Balaram is acting like that. But it's to a devotee, it makes complete sense, and he thinks it's beautiful and wonderful and praiseworthy and completely correct, and benefiting everyone. Of course, Ramahasana Sutta was only benefited imagine being killed by Balaram himself. All offences are being destroyed by that, and it's very, very. Although it is a punishment, but it's a very, very great benediction at the same time. So we can also understand that Ramahasana Sutta, actually how qualified he was to be personally chastised and corrected and killed by Balaram. That's not ordinary either. So Ramahasana Sutta was not ordinary. And of course, just to wind that up, he was killed there, and then Balaram, of course there was great consternation, great uproar, and everyone was shocked in that assembly, and the sages were paying their obeisances and respects to Balaram, and they were expressing actually that, but we had given him perpetual life. As long as he was narrating the Puranas, he would never die. Now he's dead. Not to. And then they say, and because we know whatever you do is right, we have no problem with that. But then again, what will people think? And what is it? And Balaram said, so what should I do? Should I atone for the whole, or should I just give him back his life? And the sages said, no. Since you wanted him dead, he should be dead. He shouldn't leave his body. But then again, we gave him that benediction. So then he concluded that, well, then his son can, take over the benediction of being the greatest speaker on the Puranas and having perpetual life as long as he speaks on the Puranas. So, and that was Sutta Goswami. We are hearing actually now from Sutta Goswami speaking the Bhagavatam. He's a son of Ramahasana. Again, it shows also Ramahasana is a very special person that he would have such a son as Sutta Goswami. And so that was agreed upon that Sutta Goswami would take over the blessing his father had, and he would continue speaking the Puranas and ultimately the Bhagavatam. And then Balaram, it was agreed upon that Balaram, to atone for, just to set the example for the ordinary man, that when you committed something wrong, then you should atone for it properly. So Balaram, he agreed to that he would atone by, well, first of all, he agreed to kill, was it Balbala? One demon. There was only one demon, Balbala demon, who came and caused a disturbance every full moon, every moonless night. disturb the whole sacrificial and the whole assembly. And so Balaram, he agreed to that. He killed him. When he came, he dragged him down from the sky with his plow and smashed his head with his club. I don't understand.
The demon was
No, Balbala demon here. The demon, Balaram killed other demons also. He can kill many demons. And then after, then the sages of Lamrasvani said, and now if you go on pilgrimage, so all the holy places are pilgrimage for 1 year, then you'll be completely cleansed for the sin of killing a Mahashana. And that's what you're talking about. Of course, there's no sin. I mean, even the Supreme Lord, whatever, even if it were sinful, but there's no sin associated with his action. Namam kamani limpanti nami kamapali spriha. There's no action that affects me at all, Krishna says. And I do not strive for the fruits of actions also. There's no, it's us who are affected by sins. Balaram certainly not. But again, Leela, which is pastime, so he has the opportunity to perform Leelas at all the holy places of pilgrimage, and it's described in the Bhagavatam, all the places, or many of the places where he wanders all over India, and visits all the holy places of pilgrimage, and performs many pastimes there. And also at the same time, he avoids being involved in the battle of Kurukshetra, because there it's he doesn't want to really be part of it. He doesn't want because actually he is inclined to side with Duryodhana more or less. He has some affection for Duryodhana, but Krishna is completely with the Pandavas. And that's also one thing that, how can we understand that? That's one thing that I never completely understand. Why is, Duryodhana is such a rascal? And Maharaj, you want the microphone? I think we can hear. I don't think there's no one in the kitchen right now, so.
We need a wireless.
Yeah, one day we'll buy wireless. The temple can afford to buy wireless, we'll do that. Why don't we move Maharaj's chair closer so we can, someone help Maharaj the chair closer to here.
Can you hear it there?
Bring the chair.
Yeah.
It doesn't say which king it was. But he had a friendly relationship with the king of Matilda, so he went there. Duryodhana was an expert to do that. He went there and rendered all kinds of disciple. Beloved disciple. It's like if you have a disciple. Love. Balaram loved Duryodhana. He even wanted Duryodhana to marry his sister, Subhadra. So that's, in other words, there was a relationship there. Guru and disciple. One of the names of Balaram was Duryodhana Guru. That's some of the background there. There's a special relationship between them. And disregarded other unsavory qualities of Duryodhana.
Still, what I find, mystical, because in one sense there is no difference between Krishna and Balaram, but then again, same personality, but they're different also. And we saw that during the Brahma Vimohan Leela, even Balaram was aware that Krishna had expanded as all the cowherd boys and calves. So Balaram, he is different from Krishna, but I'm not talking about this inconceivable oneness and difference. I'm just saying because I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. But they are different. For Leela, they are two different personalities. The same personality, has two different personalities, and with difference, like in the case of Duryodhana, Krishna was not inclined very much to Duryodhana at all. And Balaram was very affectionate towards him. And as you say, that he even wanted Subhadra married to Duryodhana. And Krishna didn't want that at all. But he couldn't really say anything because Balaram is his older brother, so he somewhat went along with that, but then he made a conspiracy along with Arjuna behind Balaram's back, instructed Arjuna to kidnap Subhadra. And it's all Leela. If that were not there, we would have nothing to talk about.
Balaram said, I'm going to kill Arjuna.
Yeah.
When he found out, I'm going to immediately go kill Arjuna.
Yeah. And Krishna
fell at his feet.
Yeah. And convinced him. And actually, Subhadra was also, attracted to Arjuna. He was, and there's a lot of narrated about Balaram in the 10th canto, of course, but then also his real personality and nature was also revealed as, when he incarnated as Lord Nityananda, as Avadut, where Krishna as Lord Chaitanya, follows, sets an example, behaves in a way which is exemplary, which can be followed by others, doesn't break, religious principles, dharma, but Balaram, Nityananda, doesn't care about that at all. And Nityananda, Balaram as Nityananda, is doing anything, and no one can put any. You can understand what is he, and that's when in the conversations, I can say, even the fights between Advaita Acharya and Nityananda, that's one of the things that Advaita Acharya is constantly criticizing Nityananda for. Of course, we understand these are just mock fights, and they look very serious actually. So, and those who are outsiders were thinking actually that they are really fighting, yelling at each other and criticizing each other and blaspheming each other. But it was just fun. But looked very serious. And then Advaita Acharya was criticizing Nityananda that you're an unknown mendicant. I'm sitting here eating with an unknown mendicant, and I don't know what will come of me. I lose my caste. He comes here and we're just feeding this unknown mendicant. We don't know, we have no idea where he comes from and what he does, and he will, he will do anything. So that's actually glorification. It looks like it's criticism, but actually it's glorification of Nityananda, that he's so he's above rules and regulations, and he's so intoxicated with the love of Krishna that there's no consideration of time, place, and circumstance or standard behavior or anything like that. And I'm not going to get into details, but you hear some of the activities narrated in the Bhagavad, especially, like it's incomprehensible the way that he acts. Completely incomprehensible. And non-devotees cannot enter into why the Supreme Lord is acting like that. But devotees, they can understand it. It makes sense. It's beautiful. It's a pastime. It's a lila for us. Ultimately, Balaram, whether we understand him or not, Balaram is extremely merciful. He's really the Adi Guru. He's the original spiritual master. All spiritual masters are empowered by Balaram. He's the original instructor, and the strength by which one advances in spiritual life actually is given by him. He's called Bala. The word Bala means this means he's strong. It's not materially strong, it's spiritually strong. This is much greater strength. And in a particular one purport in the Bhagavatam, do you remember that Maharaj, which purport Prabhupada writes the one we should pray to Lord Balaram to have strength to form spiritual strength. Where's that purport?
Spiritual strength.
It's a so we should always pray to Balaram to get strength to go on in Krishna consciousness, to perform devotional service. Protect him, and ask him for protection against Maya, against that's also the process. In order to actually really advance and advance in Krishna consciousness, enter into the relationship to Krishna, we have to go through Balaram or through Nityananda. Nityananda, we can pray to Lord Nityananda, to Balaram, to remove all our material desires. When we feel affected or overwhelmed by material desires or lust or something, pray to Balaram, pray to Lord Nityananda for strength to overcome that. That's actually said. That's the form of the Lord one prays to, and one has experience material desires, because he's very, very merciful, and he will purify our heart from within when we pray to him. He's there as a super soul, and then by his mercy, then one can enter into deeper relationships. Without his mercy, we cannot. It's not possible. That was there. If one has affection, one has respect for Krishna, but not for Balaram, actually, that's not. One cannot one will not be able to enter into Krishna consciousness, or as Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami talks about, if one thinks one is a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, but not of Lord Nityananda, that's he said actually, then it's better to be an atheist actually. Better be an atheist, and a straightforward atheist instead of a hypocrite. That's actually half, the logic of the half hen. Krishna's Kavira says like that. And there's he narrates an incident where his own brother was minimizing the position of Lord Nityananda, and although he was thinking himself a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, and his brother fell down because of that. And Krishna's Kaviras was instructed that incident in a dream the very night it had happened. Leave from here, get out from here and go to Vrindavan. All good fortune will occur to you in Vrindavan. And he immediately got up. When he woke, he just got up without saying anything to him, and just walked and left and went to Vrindavan. And there's praising actually, by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, I have achieved the shelter of Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, found, he says, only by the mercy of Nityananda Balarama that I have, that I'm situated in devotional service. So the mercy of Guru is actually the mercy of Balarama coming through Parampara, through the Guru. So even though, his activities are inconceivable and sometimes even seemingly mad, but of course he's a very serious person. Teaching from Guru is a very serious thing. So that serious teaching comes actually through the from Balaram through the Guru. So anyway, I'm trying to say something. I'm not really. Someone want to, Maharaj, would you like to add something more? Some questions or comments? Take 5 minutes more since it's.
You talked about, briefly in the beginning, the succession of incarnations. I was just thinking about this Chaturvyuha, and sometimes when we come upon these very philosophical passages in the Bhagavatam, then it's a little tough to understand, and the mind is thinking, okay, when will there come another Leela like that?
Yeah.
So what is actually the significance of understanding this Chaturvyuha, and how does one comprehend it?
What is the significance? It's very significant, but it's very philosophical, it's very and I'm not qualified or competent to really explain the Chaturvyuha, all the intricacies connected with that. They are, it's different aspects of the personality of Godhead. And with these different aspects, different aspects of reality are manifested and maintained by him. Are you able to speak more on that? I can say something, but on the intricacies of the Chaturvyuha, are you able to speak on that?
Otherwise,